Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our YouTube channel here on Northside Square. Again, my name is Quincy Jones, Director of Programs with Works. Happy to be back here at Northside. This is actually week 23. We're still technically in the pre-development stages, though we're nearing the end of pre-development. And so today, on this wonderful January 5th day of achievement, achievement should be one of the focus because we're achieving a lot of things here at Northside Square. Again, this massive 270,000 square foot former Memphis Vocational Technical High School is being transformed. As you well know, you've been following along with our videos. And so this week, I'm joined by my good friend Corey Coleman, who is an environmental scientist with EnSafe. And typically, we do a lot of remediation early on, so there was some that occurred, removal of asbestos, other hazardous materials that took place several months ago. EnSafe handled a lot of that oversight, the review of the contract work, and so we're back here today, January 5th, doing some work in the gymnasium, which is opposite where we're positioned. But Corey, if you can, just tell us a little bit about EnSafe as a company and kind of your work on this particular project here at Northside Square.
So EnSafe's an environmental consulting company based here in Memphis. Corporate office is here. We got about 14, 15 locations nationwide. Our purpose here was basically to get the site environmentally safe for the next phases of renovation and demo. When you talk renovation demo on a building of this age and this size, asbestos, lead-based paint, other hazardous materials come to mind. The biggest thing we had to deal with here was asbestos-containing materials. So a full survey was done to find these materials throughout the building, samples collected, and those materials were removed to continue on with the demolition and renovation.
And when you talk about buildings like this, and I know you deal with a lot of large structures, but you think about Northside, this school was developed in 1966. So there are some particular things about buildings of that age, that period, that your company obviously has a lot of business because of the time lapse that has occurred in those structures. And so what does it mean when you're dealing in a building of this age? What are some of the initial things that you look for when a building has been vacant, it was built in the 1960s? Are there some continual things that you see happening that are kind of sensitive and things that need to be done in terms of remediating the building that are kind of reoccurring in your line of work?
Yeah, if you're looking at the time period, the 60s, asbestos was still widely used, and it's a very good material, but if it is damaged, it does cause health effects. So things that you're looking at when you're talking about asbestos, to dispel some of the myths, anything that's not wood, metal, or glass is considered to be suspect for asbestos. And also, contrary to popular opinion, asbestos has not been banned, so it could be found in new structures. There are certain uses that we'd still allow for it to be in any building, and so our health department has a mandate, if any renovation demo is to occur, that we need to know what's in this building before anybody makes any breaks, any cuts, any chipping going on, and that's for worker safety first, right, and then for the end user who will occupy the building.
Right. And so today we're talking about the ceiling and the louvers above the former Northside High School gymnasium opposite where we're standing. And so we've got a lot of work that needs to occur there because there were some areas that actually got opened up or got re-exposed, if you will, because they weren't necessarily there. And so we had a hidden structure basically that was found once our interior demolition began inside the building. And now we've got to go back and safely remove those materials before vertical construction, or what we call core and shell construction, in other words, the rebuilding of Northside High School, in other words, the interior materials, the mechanical systems. Before all of that stuff can take place, this additional asbestos has to be removed. And so talk a little bit, if you don't mind, Corey, about what that entails and kind of the oversight that your company will be doing on this job.
Yeah, and you know, finding asbestos on that level is common, especially a building of this size, this magnitude. Our survey is going to be limited to what we can physically assess. So this often happens. Renovation occurs, an extra wall comes down. In this case, we had a metal wall to come down, right, and it reveals something that wasn't there, which is why as a provision, we always want to make sure the contractor knows, if you see anything that wasn't in that survey, come talk to us, and we'll get it figured out. In this case, it is asbestos. So what we'll be doing is working with the contractor to make sure that asbestos is contained, it is safely removed. The air is going to be monitored during the process and after the process inside the container and outside the containment, and even outside the structure to protect the environment as well. All those things good, everything's removed, all the clearance says we're good to go, and we're in good shape to move on to the next phase.
And finally, this is essential work. And when we talk about Northside Square, we're talking about obviously a large mixed-use project. So you think about residential uses, we'll have 42 apartments on the 3rd level of this building. We'll have a trade school in the basement. We'll have office, restaurants, community facilities. So a multitude of uses, multi-use facility. So asbestos, hazardous materials, the removal, the abatement is critically important. And so I want to thank Corey Coleman for coming out. I want to thank EnSafe for being a partner with us. And we're looking forward to getting this work done, moving forward, achieving, of course. It's January 5. Thanks everyone for being here. January 5, we'll be back not next week, the week after next, just before the MLK holiday, or actually just after the MLK holiday. We'll continue. We'll talk a little bit more about the upcoming work here at Northside Square. So please continue to like our channel, send us questions, ask questions, and stay tuned. Thank you again.